Start whenever you want. It's recording. Do I have to get both of you? Hey, Lawrence. Lawrence, how do you want the shot? Do you want both of you in the shot, or should I get Mr. Sheehy in the shot? I don't know who you want.
Okay, make it different.
Okay, when you're talking, I'll go to you, and when he's talking, I'll go to him. How does that work? 4 minutes left.
We have some questions I have to ask you in Chinese about like culture and China.
I've been interviewed.
Yes. Okay. So, what type of Chinese foods have you eaten? Which you prefer?
I like beef and broccoli. And I like orange chicken.
Alright. What makes the government...
Pretty white.
Got it. What makes the government of Taiwan and China different from what you know?
They hate each other. And that goes back to what you learned in my class in regards to the end of World War II. You know, Chiang Kai-shek loses the Civil War to Mao, and Chiang Kai-shek picks up and moves to Formosa, which is we call Taiwan today. And of course, the United States supports Chiang Kai-shek because he's not communist. So, you know, Taiwan had a seat in the UN Security Council until 1972, and you know, that tension between China and Taiwan still exists to this day. I mean, they don't get along, and China especially is very sensitive about America's relationship with Taiwan. We always have to be careful about that because we owe them lots of money.
Okay, so how do the
I mean China, we owe lots of money.
Right. How do the language dialects vary from region to region? You don't know.
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Let's get that one. Are there any festivals or customs specific to Taiwan and China?
That I'm aware of?
Yeah.
Like the Chinese New Year?
Okay, that counts. Yeah.
Does that count?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
It's one of the most popular ones.
Yeah, that's the one I know. And then of course I was showing somebody the different signs that you get when you're born.
Right,
so
right.
the year of the ox and that sort of stuff. I'm aware of that. Nothing else off the top of my head.
Can I ask you one more question? How does their education system compare to America?
China or Taiwan?
China.
China? Well, they have. Recently, they're graduating way more engineers, like, I don't know, some ridiculous number, maybe 10 times, 20 times more than the United States. I mean, their population is so much bigger. There is a problem as far as a lot of those graduates aren't able to find jobs. That's an issue that China's having to deal with. So obviously the government's got to figure out a way to, once you improve the education system, you got all these people spending all this time and money to get that education. You have to have somebody to exercise and to make money to pay for that. So I don't know. I mean, to me, there's a difference that I know of with the Chinese system and the American system. Is the American system still provides for more creativity, whereas the Chinese system is more rigid, and you end up with students who are not as creative. So you tend to see still more creativity in the United States, even though I know we are slipping, that we're not doing as good a job as we once did, but that's an interesting issue that'll play out in the next 10 to 20 years. You know, China's is more successful, more and more kids are going to college. More of them, I think, are staying in China as opposed to coming to the United States. So that'll be interesting to see what the end result here is. You know, obviously, your country's success, a lot of it's going to be based on your education system. If our education system continues going down and China's keeps going up, then that's going to have repercussions, and for both societies overall and for the world.
What geographic features separate China or Taiwan? No.
Water? Ocean?
I'm Great Wall of China.
The Great Wall, you're thinking of Great Wall of China.
Okay. Are words of similar definition pronounced differently in different regions?
I think so. Yes.
Okay.
That'd be my guess.
Okay. Are there any differences in common youth activities?
In China?
Yeah.
Are there any differences in common youth activities? I don't know what the average. I think my understanding is maybe a lot of time spent on the internet, so that would be something in common. But I don't know about differences. There may be differences between the agricultural areas of China versus the industrial areas. Obviously, a lot of the poor people, which make up the majority of Chinese society, are still, living out in farms. And life is very difficult for them, and you have a lot of poor people, and that's definitely an issue China has to deal with. Because you've got this rising class of people who are becoming very successful, very wealthy, and are buying all these products. And then you have this big group of people at the bottom. It's very hard for them to kind of move up. So they end up in those factories and situations where you have cheap labor, which is you're starting to see some. I'm trying to think of the fact is it Firefox? There's I can't think of the name of the company, but they had some problems with suicides because the workers were unhappy with their situation. So that was last year. Was it Firefox? Foxconn. Foxconn. Firefox is on my computer. Foxconn.
Alright. Thanks, Rishi.
Alright, that's the end of my interview.
Thanks for your time. Yeah.
I'm ready, Albin. I'll come over.